So let's note the difference between the food chain and the food web. So what is a food chain? It is a series of organisms which here each organism depend on the next as a source of food. Whereas in food web, a network of interconnected food chain. It is this food chain networking, it form the food web. So what is the complexity? The food chain is simple, whereas the food web it is complex. So the food chain here it follows single path as an animal find the food, whereas the food web it follow multiple path as animal find the food from different sources. Then food chain it have a stability, it is less stable as it depends on a single path, whereas the food web it is more stable due to multiple paths. Then the food chain, it show the direct interaction between organism in a linear manner, whereas the food web, it show a complex interaction among various organisms. Here the food chain, it represent linear, whereas the food web, it is web-like. The food chain, it is less flexible and any change can have a significant impact on it, whereas the food web, it is more flexible and it can handle changes better. For here the food chain example is grass is eaten by the rabbit and rabbit is eaten by the fox. Whereas the food web here grass is eaten by the rabbit, grass is eaten by the mouse and mouse is eaten by the snake and the rabbit is eaten by the fox. So here the level it is usually involved as a shorter chain with fewer levels in the food chain, whereas in food web involve many level of consumers. The energy flow is very straightforward and direct in the food chain, whereas it is complex and indirect in the food web. Here the food chain it shows a simple level of interdependence among organisms, whereas food web it demonstrates a complex interdependence among organisms. Here the food chain it does not represent ecosystem complexity well, whereas the food web it represents the complexity of ecosystem well. The food chain it have removal of one organism can collapse the chain, whereas in the food web removal of any one organism has less impact due to the multiple pathways it has. What is an example of ecosystem here? It can be seen in a simple ecosystem, whereas the food web we can see in most ecosystems showing biodiversity. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe.